Hello, and welcome to the Dancing Deplorable show. I'm Milo, and this portion. Sound check. Sound check, good, good. Sound check, good. Um, this portion is going to be on the mud fossils and more portion. Milo's mud fossils and more. And the reason I'm doing this on this portion is because it is part of the giants that will be listed in this book that I'll be going over, starting to go over tonight. And it's the one I've talked about during the Neo-Nephilim series that I just got done doing a little bit on, and it's the giants, monsters, and dragons, an encyclopedia of folklore, legend, and myth. And I'm basically going to go through and go over each one. And some of them I'll spend a little time on, and a lot of them I won't, because I'm finding that there isn't a lot of things listed, but there are. Let's see if I have that. Where's the references? Would that be 18? Let's see. 18 dragons. It's really detailed. Once I get into it, you'll understand what I mean. But I find it very interesting that, let me double check that is what I'm looking at here. As far as, just to make sure, it's gotta be it. Okay. The first one that I have is let's pull this over, let me go ahead and pull it in, and we'll take a look at it together. Let me put the correct screen on. Actually, yeah, that'll work. Present, share screen, Chrome tab. There it is. Okay. Alright, so this one is listed. Let's get over here. To the top. This is on the Cryptid Wiki page, and it's Q is a creature from. I'll read it from this page, and then I'll read it from the book, and then we'll kind of go from there. It's kind of weird. This one's weird. They're all weird, but it'll be interesting to see where it pops up again, because that's one thing that I found is very interesting. So it's a creature from Malay mythology, which I believe, let me see if I've got it. Let me see if I can pull this in. Where is it? No, that's not it. Okay, anyways. Basically what I say is when mythology becomes history overnight, that's kind of where I'm at with all this stuff. Anyways, okay. What the heck? Okay. This beast lives in the steps of the Tower of Victory, found in Chittor, India, from the top of which one can see the loveliest landscape in the world. It awaits on the first step, waiting for a brave enough man to climb the tower. When it waits, it lies shapeless and translucent. When someone passes, it awakens. Then when the man starts climbing, it follows close behind, and as it goes farther, it's clearer and more colorful, giving a blue light as it ascends. A blue light special. And when the climber reaches the top of the creature, the Abayu Aq reaches perfection and achieves nirvana, and his acts don't cast any shadows. Most times a man cannot reach the top, and the creature, its perfection. I'm going to stop there because it's like, yeah, okay, whatever. But in the book, it says, come on over here. There we go. I'm getting used to a dual screen, dual monitors. I like it. Anyways, this one says this creature is described in an erudite work on Malay witchcraft by Iterverdu, 1937, which I need to pull that up. It commences as an invisible, almost benign entity that lies menacingly yet impotently at the base of a pilgrim tower where it has existed for centuries. It is described as having numerous tentacles and a skin that feels like a peach. It is a curious creature that at the approach of a pilgrim at the bottom step of the tower, it's sensitized and draws life as it moves alongside the unwary pilgrim step by step. As the pilgrim climbs, with each level gained, the creature becomes more and more visible, changing colors like a chameleon, until it emits an iridescent bluish glow, blue light special, close behind the unsuspecting visitor. However, this creature can become absolutely complete only when a perfect victim is followed, and since all who have attempted to climb to the tower so far have been imperfect pilgrims seeking the way, they inevitably return without accomplishing their fulfillment. As the pilgrim turns to descend, the creature emits a groan and fades with each level of descent to the bottom, where it must await the next pilgrim to attempt the tower. Yeah, okay, that one was boring. But like I said, it's gonna pop up again. It seems like they kind of all do. Stop screen. Okay, so the next one I found very interesting because people talk about it as a moon snake versus a moon serpent, and it's it has 5 different names: Apep, double A, P-E-P, then Apep, A-P-E-P, and then Apop, and Apophis, and then Apophis, A-P-O-P-I-S. Okay, the Apophis is the A-P-O-P-H-I-S. These are variations on the name of the moon serpent in ancient Egyptian mythology that emerged from the great void at the beginning of the world, emitting a terrifying roar from the great abyss. Apep is depicted in various ways in Egyptian art, each hideous and terrifying, depicted, for example, as a snake with a human head, as a contorted crocodile, or in the more familiar form as the vast cosmic reptile. Living deep in the Nile and symbolizing all the dark features of existence, such as storms, night, and death. That sounds like Piazza. He became a co-conspirator of Set, the god of evil. The body of this vast serpent, instead of being coiled, undulated in pleats like a concertina, like the motion of a caterpillar. so it could shoot out and engulf its prey. The hapless souls of mortals on their journey between this life. You know what? I move some stuff around. And you won't be able to see it anyways. Okay. So let's move to there. Okay, sorry. I just wanted to make sure I had my bar on the side and I couldn't see comments. Okay. The hapless souls of mortals on their journey between this life and the next were its usual victims. If they were engulfed by Apep, their fate was non-existent unless they were pitied and rescued by one of the gods. The gods themselves were not safe from the predations of this cosmic serpent. Each day, the creature lay in a wait for the sun god Ra to make his celestial journey, gaping wide the monstrous jaws to engulf the sun disk and deprive the world of light at the western mountains. But protected by the guardian serpent Mayhin, Ra always escaped, re-emerging in his sunship, interesting, in the east to bring light to the world again. Sometimes Apep was almost successful and an eclipse would occur, but Apep was always forced to regurgitate the celestial boat containing Ra. A hymn to Osiris tells the story of how eventually the monster was bound by the god Horus and chopped to pieces by the god Osiris. Apep was probably derived from the Babylonian myths of Bel Marduk and Tiamat. Interesting. And there's several references. We'll look at those later because we'll be coming back to that. It says, see also Mayhen, Nagas, which that's kind of how I was like seeing that. And like I said, it will pop up in other stuff. Rahu and Tiamat. Avak, double A-V-A-K, I found was interesting because it's actually Arvak. And Arvak, if some of you are gamers, is the soul of the dead horse in the Soul Cairn in Skyrim on the vampire versus who are the Dawn Guard versus the Dawn Guard, which I only go and play that. You start that is to get the crossbow. Thank you very much. See you later. Okay, but anyway, so Arvak, it says here the alternative spelling of Avak, double A-V-A-K, of the name Arvak, one of the giant horses that pulled the chariot of the Sun Maiden Sol, or Suna, in Norse mythology. Which that'll be interesting to just approach that and take a look at the Norse. The name means early waker, and thus symbolizes the dawn. See also Alcivid, horses and horses of the sun. Let's see. Let's pull up and see what it says for Arvak. Chrome tab. Arvak. And it says in Norse mythology, Arvak, early awake, and Alsvior are the horses which pull the sun or soul's chariot across the sky each day. It is said that the gods fixed bellows underneath two horses' shoulders to help cool them as they rode. both horses are only mentioned in Gylf, Beginning, and Grimmenzelmal, and their names are frequently associated with descriptions of the sun. In Nordic mythology, gods govern the passage of days, nights, and seasons, and the shape the sun from a spark of the flame, Muspelheim. But Nordic mythology, gods govern the passage of days, nights, and seasons. Oh, that's it. But the sun stands still without a driver. Sol is kidnapped by the gods to drive the sun in a chariot pulled by two horses. Two large bellows were placed under the shoulders of the two horses to protect them from the immense heat of the sun. Sol is unable to stop driving the chariot, or else Skoll will catch the sun and devour it. Didn't we just read that? Okay, I'm losing it. Anyways, okay, on to the next one. Yeah, so it's just stop screen. It's stop screen. The next one I found kind of interesting because not only is it the name of a monstrous legend of Wales, it's also listed as a demon. So I'm wondering if that's going to pop up in this book as well and have those connotations that we'll be able to find excerpts from these words where it's elaborated in other places, but on a different aspect. Like, it's a monster here, but it's actually derived from a demonic presence, demon, municipality, power, whatever. Disembodied, whatever. Powers from before. The ABAC, ABAC. This is an alternative name for the monstrous ADDANC, Adenac, in the legends of Wales. So let's pull that one up real quick. Share screen. Share screen. Chrome tab. We are ABAC. Where is it? I don't think. Let me see. Oh, this must be it here. Okay. So I could not find a listing for the ABAC, ABAC, but when, I'm not even sure, is that where I pulled it from? Let's take a look. Right, okay, so I had to put in monster, but let's put in Legend of Wales. See what that pulls up. Okay, so let me pull that in. Alright. Oh, creepy. Okay. Oh, that's weird. So the Welsh Loch Ness Monster, basically. But I found it interesting that it also was talking about a demonic presence. But I found it interesting. Yeah. So, yeah, and that's kind of all it said. I don't really want to look at that because it's really not. Let's go back one more. Yeah, see, it doesn't really give me anything until I put monster in. So that one's kind of weird. I'll have to come back to that one because that one's kind of weird. And this next one I found odd, and I questioned it because, let me move back over here. I cannot see this. Okay, so this is the name, the Abada, the ABADA. This is the name of the type of unicorn to be found in legends of the peoples of the Congo region of Africa. See also unicorn. So I found this odd that when you try to actually go in and get information on stuff like this, it's hard if you don't have some backup reference information. So in other words, if it didn't have some things at the end of each section, see also blah blah blah, references to blah blah blah, there's no way you're going to find this stuff just by what it's named in the area that it's in. So I went and looked at this, and what I came up with was some really, I mean, you got to wonder how this stuff gets in here, because it looks like, kids drew some pictures. And I know that people are good at drawing, but I just find it odd that that's as good as it gets for a description. With this stuff is, like, we're going to look at some other stuff as we get into it that's really descriptive, but there just wasn't a whole lot. Let me see if we can go back on even this one. Creature from Central Africa associated with particular with the demo. I don't even know what the hell that means. Similar to the unicorn, blah blah blah. A rhinoceros kept by Philip II of Spain. So it's got several listings here. For surname, a rhinoceros kept by Philip II of Spain. Type of unicorn reported to live in the lands of the African Congo. A forest spirit in Tatar mythology, which Tatar, we'll be coming back to that. Pants worn by whatever the heck the word is. I'm not even going to attempt that. Whatever that is. Is a tell or an archaeological settlement mound in Diyala Governorate in Iraq. No. That's weird. Interesting. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, that's weird. But there's just not a whole lot of information on this stuff. So, I mean, in looking up unicorns, everybody knows what a unicorn is, so we're not going there. But, yeah, so I don't want to there's some interesting things in here, and there's not so interesting things in here. And there's a few additions to this book. I believe this is the edition before the last one. She's added a few things. I'm not sure. I think I downloaded that somewhere. But it's going to be interesting. But I just wanted to give you an idea of what this book is about, what it has in it, what to expect if I'm doing this again. I will have much more information, but I kind of wanted to see how it was going to flow with the information, how easy to find the information. And I think where I'm going to have to go maybe is into the Library of Congress, believe it or not. Because a lot of these things, like if you look up sirens and titans and things like that, you'll find in Library of Congress that they have things listed for things like that. So it's pretty interesting. But I'm going to keep this one short tonight. I just kind of wanted to jump in this and see how it went and see if there's any interest in that. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Have a great night, everyone. Thanks for joining me. I'll be back tomorrow. I may be up super early doing a short Bible study. We'll see how. I did have a discussion with Aqua Mariah, and we're talking about doing a live stream in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that. And have a great night, and see you all tomorrow. Thanks so much for joining me. Look forward to seeing you all next time. It's going to be an interesting trip as we go page to page and figure out what's going on and what to expect, and the possibility of mythology becoming history overnight. Take care, everyone. Thanks for joining.